challenges with taking out schools on the tree, and so many others that I'm very, very sure that you are competent to address. So I wish you all the best, and congratulations.
Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much. We proceed to take a comment from Deputy Minority Leader.
Right, thank you very much, Chairman. It will be most unfortunate if I don't add my voice to the many blessings that are going the way of my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. So I just didn't want to keep quiet, but to bless him. I know your competencies, and I know when people were questioning why education, I knew what you could do. So I bless you. The name of the...
Thank you, Chair. Amen. I hope I have the permission to call Emma Pat. Thank you, thank you.
It's now the turn of Minority Leader and the ranking member of the committee.
Chairman, thank you very much. Leader, this room is filled to its full capacity. It tells all of us how popular you are with ordinary people. I can see behind you a lot of people. Now, I want us to do a little exercise. On your CV, you have on page 1 of 3, you have for residential address, 2 Shippy Close, Fedeos, Cantonment, Accra. If you'll be pleased, the cantonment is where you live, correct?
Yes. I live, when you are entering the house, you see the fiddles written by the wall.
Very well, Dominique, I understand. I know cantonment very well. You live at cantonment?
Yeah, I do. I used to be in Bubuashi.
Honorable nominee, you provide the specific answers to the very questions I ask. You know, you being my respected senior, members want us to finish you quickly. And if you open yourself up, then maybe there will be more follow-ups. So you live at cantonment?
Yes.
Very well. Now, this residential facility, this property, is it a rented property or it is your house?
It is my house.
You are very honest. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Aaron Edris. The reason why we, the young ones, respect you is such courage to face the truth that will take you higher, as prophesied by Roxanne. So it is no offense for a politician to own a property at cantonment, correct?
Not at all, depending upon your... Order. Chairman would respect. You've had calls to caution the friends of this committee from the majority side. Please, let us observe some decorum, respectfully. Honorable Haruna Idrisu, saying, in Krahim Fana, Meti cantonments, baby.
Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, that's not allowed by our rules. Mr. Chairman,
because
Mr. Chairman,
I tried the tree with you because on your CV. Oh, colleague, on his CV, we are not done. Chairman, these your friends.
Please go ahead and address the chair.
Chairman, thank you. Honorable Aaron Edrisu, Papacho, why an MP in Fiesane?
I bet it's 20 years in there.
Very well. So those are you've passed. Because Honorable nominee, you say on your CV that you speak English, Dagbani, Hausa, and Twi.
That's true.
I am thus far impressed with your Twi. I'm sure that there is a Southern inspiration.
That's Parliament House. Parliament House.
My wife, Mary, Safwa Yeboah.
Oh, very well.
Sometimes when I'm coming out, I don't know about church, me say, Chino, Mensua, Namin Bomodin, Namin Kanaye.
So, Chair, you have disclosed that Madam has inspired you with a tree. That's great. So, Chair, I want to know from the nominee whether or not he benefited from free education.
I did, coming from northern Ghana at the time. I attended Kulkul School through Bagabaga JSS, through Tamale Secondary School and Navasco, and education was generally free for that part of our country. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, respectfully, you had your O-level in Tamale Secondary School, but went to Navrungo for your A-level. Can you tell me what inspired you to move from the Great Tamasco, right? From the Great Tamasco to the Great Navasco?
When we wrote the GC O-level exams, I think that I didn't do well in mathematics for that particular sitting. And Tamasco at that time was insisting on a particular grade. And Navasco was open. If you had evidence that you were about rewriting, you could come and justify. So I went to Navrungu Secondary School for the A-level. And I'm proud to say that 1991, I probably was one of the best A-level students Navasco produced. I still hold one of the best grades ever in business management from Navasco. That record have not been broken. And so, yes, this was what motivated. But traveling to Navrungu Chair was a difficult one. 7 hours from Tamale to Navrungu. And then you are carrying your gari in a chop box. You are not sure of the metro mass. We have survived and we have come a long way. Thank you, Chair.
So, Honorable nominee, I can understand why you had to go through a law program with those inspirations. You've studied philosophy, sociology, and all, and then from there you had to do law. Now, I note from page 3 of 3 on your CV, respectfully, your membership of the Ghana Bar. Membership of Ghana Bar 2002 to date. As you may be well aware, as a lawyer, your membership to the bar or with the bar, at the bar, originate from your being a member of a law firm or a department of an agency so recognized, by the state. Now, let me explain, because my respected colleague is trying to draw my attention, though not on record. When you are called to the bar, you are a lawyer. You've been called to the bar after pupillage, yes. But your annual subscription, you cannot, unless something has changed that I don't know, you are able to pay for your subscription if you can relate to a law firm or a department, a legal department of an institution. So please, that is not indicated. Which law firm do you?
Chairman, thank you very much. You know, at the time I finished University of Ghana, even though a student activist, I had a strong bond with Speaker Alban Bagbin, and therefore he recommended me for Law Trust. I've since been, one of our partners is here, James Mensah Kule, who is my law school mate, and minority leader, the chairman of this committee. I graduated from law school with him the same day, Bernard Ahiafo, with Honorable Amwakwata and Professor Abuchi and Ben Say of Nanado Chambers and others. So I am tied to Law Trust, and I'm a lawyer in good standing. I've paid all my subscription. Indeed, subject to Parliament clearing me, I do 2 additional things. I'm into football and I'm into law. I appeared before the 8th Parliament to get justification to hold office
Honorable
of
nominee,
profit.
enough. Honorable nominee, the almighty free SHS that you're looking forward to reform, review, is in order. I mean, obviously, coming from where we started, from where people even thought it is not possible. I am happy that as a nation, we appreciate the fact that we've done so well in educational reforms. I commend the respected Dr. Yahweh Duchum for the effort. I commend Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe, who is not with us in this parliament, for his effort. And above all, the Akufo-Addo government. I feel assured that you intend to review and look at the areas that were not too successful so that you make it better. That said, may I tease your mind on this? There is this talk that even in mighty America, free education does not include boarding. In advanced democracies where emphasis is on free education, boarding is not part. And at Ghana, we have punched above our weight by introducing free boarding. Your honest view, do you think that we must continue to have free boarding?
Even expanded. Kandiga is not America. Wulugu is not America. I'm sure one of the communities in the Winneba area is not America. They have access. The transport systems are network and effective. It is not so for Ghana. For many children, I'm sure members of parliament even have to buy bicycles to support them to be able to commit to school daily. It means that for some to access this good quality education, they need to do more. So increased boarding facilities for deprived rural areas is important. Review, as announced by President Mahama, is not cancellation. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, if the nominee will be pleased, I should proceed to have a discussion with him on the tertiary education we have in Ghana. His party in opposition promised free university tuition for year 1. And in all fairness to your government, you were very specific that you pay for year 1. First semester of the academic calendar for the universities have since commenced. May I know from you whether your government intends to implement this policy in your first budget to take care of semester 1? No, you don't know.
On the authority of President Mahama, I'm sure his Minister of Finance, if this House approved the Honorable Tuforson, will present the reset budget of the government. It will include some provision of some 345 million cedis to cater for admission fees for students undertaking courses in the normal subject areas, not professional areas like medicine. And for President Mahama, this is a model to experiment. You will look at it. How do we fare as a country? If it is possible for expansion, then he will expand it. And he's not asked that if you are able, you should not. We know that some students have already paid their admission fees. It will be refunded to them. Honorable Leader.
Honorable Chair, we are engaged in a public discourse. If the nominee will be pleased, may he bring clarity to this matter. In your manifesto launch, which took place in Efutu, Winneba, Efutu. By the way, Winneba is the capital of Efutu. And you entered Winneba with all the glory and assurances to the nation. You did not say admission fee. The statement was free universities. I'm quoting President Mahama's words. Free first year tuition fees. First year, we have semester 1 and semester 2. It is the NDC manifesto did not promise admission fee for first year. It did not promise admission. So I just, with the greatest respect, at the risk of sounding immodest, pray you to bring clarity to what exactly you intend doing for the first year university students.
Thank you very much, Leader. Fortunately, I was a member of the manifesto committee, so I still recall even when we had to discuss this subject, we asked Professor Odro and a team to go out and work out the numbers for us to discuss with the president before we went public. Leader, for your purposes, tuition is free in all public universities in Ghana. Therefore, we're referring to admission fees. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, the jury is out there, so some of the issues we are unable to resolve, we'll leave it for the jury to determine. There's no problem. We have to move on. Now, let me also, for the benefit of clarity, if you say all universities, does that also mean all tertiary institutions?
Leader, if you note, that's why, for instance, expanding free senior high school, the president said public, because the double track system has to be addressed. So we have to look into private senior high school. What capacity do they have? Maybe 150,000, and you have a number of 300,000 young people who ought to be in school. Today, as we speak, year 3 and 1 are in school, 2 is home. Or year 3 and 1 are in school, 2 is home.
Honorable nominee, respectfully, I'm not cutting you. I think the mainstay of my question was in respect of the tertiary. You know, we have nursing colleges. We have colleges for animal husbandry or veterinary. You know, we
use the word universities for that purpose.
So yes, so that is why other friends of committee, there is an important discussion. Now, so do I take it from the clarity you provided that College of Nursing, colleges of education, colleges of agriculture, and other colleges of tertiary in stature are not part of this first year free tuition policy of the NDC government?
I'm not able to use tertiary and university interchangeable here for this purpose. I had admission fee for first year university students. Thank you.
Chair, again, on this very subject matter, I appreciate the sincerity of the nominee, and again, the jury is out there to make their determination on this important matter. However, Honorable nominee, don't you think that having regard to the expectation of the Ghanaian youth in respect of this free first year tuition, they would find the policy discriminatory if you are only giving this benefit to university students? You have earlier referred to some constitutional provisions, Article 25 and 38 and all. Don't you think that the Ghanaian youth out there who is attending a college of education, who is attending a college of agriculture, who is attending a college of nursing, will feel discriminated against since he or she is also having a tertiary education?
For President Mahama, if it was possible to grant free education to every Ghanaian, he just would have done that. It depends upon the size of the economy and what our economy vis-a-vis demands from other sectors of the economy can do. Thank you.
Babaru.
Tutubra.
Very well. So
you have to tell members that you are the only person who knows my two known name in the university.
On the TVET, you know, the enrollment levels were very low until it was also made free. Can you share with us your plans in ensuring that you sustain, one, and two, to encourage as many talented Ghanaians to walk that path in acquiring skills, rather than insisting on going into the mainstream senior high school?
Thank you very much. The relationship between industry, employability, hinges on the quality and training of young people with employable skills, which are largely technical, vocational. I'm aware that the Honorable Educhum and his colleagues tried a number of TVET institutions. In my review of the handing over notes, the infrastructure, he just started when government had to go through the debt crisis, and therefore there was no funding to complete many of them. Be assured that we will complete all of them to support President Mahama's agenda to get more young people employable by way of those skills. Now, the problem with many of the TVET institutions was retooling and equipment. It's not just about building the infrastructure. If you said carpenters, have you provided for their training? If you said masons, have you provided for their training? So we'll look into it and ensure that at least every region has a model of the TVET institution that is dedicated to them, because we also must deal with a problem that you don't get 300, 400,000 SSS students who don't know their fate beyond completion of senior high school. Then you'll be producing a cohort of unemployment graduates for that category of young people. So we would invest in TVET. Technical and vocational education is important, and requisite financing will be provided for them. But as I said, I look forward to decapping GET Fund and dedicating many of it to get robust infrastructure done.
Chair, if the nominee will be pleased, I would want to draw his attention to His Excellency the President. On his campaign trail, I believe he identified some challenges in the school feeding program. And at one point, he did indicate that instead of government having to procure for the schools, he will rather come up with the policy to let the head teachers themselves procure the items, the food items directly. In other words, he will transfer the funds to the schools so that the schools themselves would procure the food items for the students. May I know from you, Honorable Nominee, if indeed, beyond the campaign rhetoric, this is also part of the policies that you are going to introduce as a way of ensuring, in your own way, efficiency in the free SHS system in terms of the aspect that deals with school feeding.
First of all, to note that in our manifesto, the words that were used was to implement no academic fee policy for first-year students in all public tertiary institutions, including universities, colleges of education, and nursing training colleges, for the record, leader. So this is our pledge.
I know why I was pushing you, but I'm happy, you know.
I appreciate it.
I know why I was pushing you, because your manifesto is here. So I wanted to be sure. And so I'm happy you've gone back to clarify, to give assurance.
Thank you.
Yes, I must. If opposition leader cannot have access to your manifesto, then what is my use? I must have it.
Thank you, leader. And Chair, school feeding.
I mean, school feeding in this context is referring to the senior high school, not the basic school feeding.
Yes, school feeding for senior high school was largely done in a centralized form by the previous government, taking advantage of two institutions, the Buffer Stock Company and the Ghana Commodity Exchange. And it allowed for central purchase in some quantities of these food items. Headmasters already played some role when it came to perishable items, uniforms, and others. We have to phase out implementation because we cannot afford any food shortages as the schools run. 3rd January, we have to provide for stability of their calendar and make sure that there's adequate food and the quality of the food. But certainly the GES and headmasters will have a role. It's more, Chair, a cash flow problem, and how early the Ministry of Finance releases those funds. If we are not careful, there will come a time that you would have done purchases and major suppliers will say that they won't do it because they've not been guaranteed or assured. So we have to deal with the cash flow problem, which is a matter which can be resolved between the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education. But for us, is to assure that we stop any potential disruption of the school calendar arising out of the lack of or delay in getting these food items to the school. We will work with those institutions, but define a role for the headmasters in a phased-out process. Thank you.
Senior, please, employment. My constituency produces the highest number of diploma and B.Ed graduates, bachelor in education. As you may know, UEW was established as a specialized tertiary facility to train teachers and feed that market. On daily basis, they come to me. This morning, I received a message. Which message is to ask you what plans you have to get as many of them who have graduated and are still unemployed into getting the employment with GS.
GS, it will be a function of availability of funds and a matter of vacancies arising, the location of those vacancies, who is willing to go, and then the Minister of Finance granting clearance to the Minister for Education to recruit such number of teachers as may be desirable for the running of our educational system. As and when we get the clearance, we would honor those numbers. Thank you.
Senior, again, may I know from you about this licensure examination policy of the MPP? Are you going to maintain it? Chairman, the friends of this committee from the majority side must know how we operate. They should stop it. Will you maintain it or you will abolish it?
We will have a systematic review of it to abolish it. We are going to review the curricula of the colleges of education and the faculty of education of the universities. They will incorporate it as part of the exam that students will write, and when they pass it, they are on. Thank you.
Now, let's come to this very nagging national issue, the LGBT issue. Now, His Excellency President Mahama, recently in his engagement with the religious bodies, specifically the Catholic bishops, indicated that the law that stops, prevents, alienates, and prevents this issue of sexual rights, same-sex relationship, does not necessarily need to be enacted, and that perhaps the country can explore the possibility of introducing our value system into the curriculum so that the children can, at that elementary stage, have certain understanding of the Ghanaian value system. May I ask you, Honorable Leader, your own views about the option to introduce a value system to systematically give a certain direction to our children instead of enacting a law?
Leader and Chair, I do not want to reduce this matter to a religious debate. It's a cultural wrong. With my religion as a Muslim, you know where I stand on this matter. It is repugnant to my Muslim values and ethics. I do not want to believe that many a Ghanaian parent would want their children trained in a way which is not consistent with the way me and you were brought up as Ghanaians, either from Efutu or from Wayamba in Tamale. And therefore, I would want to end it here, stating that we are a country and we define our values, both social and cultural. We should expect all other persons to respect those values. Thank you.
Chairman, I think I would put the question this way. You see, and I agree with Mr. President when he states that the curriculum, our teaching materials in our schools do not sufficiently inculcate our value systems in our children. I agree with him based on what the current status of our curriculum. I want to know from you that said, would you embrace any policy from His Excellency the President, which policy will proactively seek to opt for a value system based approach to sexual rights rather than the law?
Thank you very much. I would engage the President on the matter. The President does know my position on this subject, and it remains unchanged. But I do not think that any Ghanaian parent wants teachers to take their child to school and teach them that a man can relate to a man and a woman can relate to a man, but within the context of rights guaranteed. We are a country. We have our own values. We have a duty to preserve those values within the ambit of the Constitution. And Leader Kwamna, it is not for nothing that in the Constitution you always get words like subject to public morality. Whose morality? Ghana's defined morality. Thank you.
So, therefore, is it your suggestion to the country that you will embrace a very proactive value system rather than
Ghanaian
let me
value
finish.
system.
Yes, that's the point. The reference point is a Ghanaian value system, none other. So my point is that would you assure the Ghanaian public that you, on the basis of Mr. President's vision on this matter, on Mr. President's position on this matter, will opt for a Ghanaian value system to be introduced right from the KG, primary, all the way up, rather than a strict law in this matter?
Thank you very much. It's noted. Growing up, even with you, if you went to school, you know where young ladies could go and you know where boys could go. That is Ghanaian value system. We'll preserve that. Thank you.
Very well. You being a senior at the bar, you're able to run away from very serious cross-examination, and you couldn't have done less. That's okay. We'll let the jury determine this matter. We'll go for a broader debate on this matter. Senior, your colleagues in Parliament have this to say about you, quote, you are visionary, strategic, collaborative, a team player, and that you have a foresight, and you also demonstrate pragmatic approach in solving problems. Your colleagues know you as such. What is there for you to share with the Ghanaian youth who wants to know who Harry Nedruso is?
To the Ghanaian youth, I come from a very, very humble beginning. I just buried my late mother, my uncle, who told me that I should hasten cautiously and that I should not be in competition with any person. I should have faith in myself. I should be strong to defend my convictions as to things that I think that are right, and that I should always believe that if I do right, posterity will vindicate me with time. So for young people, it's important that we all grow with integrity and discipline, and we shouldn't be too competitive. Today is Honorable Afenyo Makin, majority leader yesterday, minority leader today. Thank you.
Colleagues, Mr. Chairman, I'm compelled to make a disclosure, and it's because Honorable Idrisu is serving as an inspiration to the many youths out there. It's not only they, including me. I recall when our party won in 2016, and in 2017, I didn't get selection. He was one person who told me that come what may, I will be a leader, and I have become a leader. So, leader, I didn't know what you saw, but I just want to say that we appreciate you. Now, let me ask you, what is your, leader, don't look at your time. This exercise is good for democracy, and I know as a lawyer you enjoy debate. This is a very healthy engagement. Chair, what is your relationship, your working relationship with Honorable Dr. Clement Apak, who is a respected member of the academia and found his way into parliament?
Solid. In fact, leader, the Honorable Clement Apak, I shared a true stance with him. We're in Commonwealth Hall together. I should remember that.
Honorable Apak, you are supposed to be calm when there's an advert in your favor. You are not supposed to. You're not supposed to be touting your own whatever. If you can do your own work, do it.
We're in Commonwealth Hall together, and I still remember those days with him and Chief Magas when they wanted me to be the chief vandal. It is when I told Commonwealth Hall that I was keeping my eye on the SRC or Nook's presidency, depending upon what support.
You know the essential qualification to becoming a chief vandal. So you had all those essential qualifications.
Thanks to him.
Very well. Thus assured, I entertain no doubt that should Mr. President ask you certain relevant questions, he will receive a tank.
Leader, you are making a determination for the president.
Report.
Thank you.
No, get my question right. This is hypothetical. It's very hypothetical. I'm not part of your government. I'm a humble opposition leader. I'm asking you that should you be given the opportunity, should he be assured of receiving a tank of good report from you?
Leader, the assurance of the president is weightier and better than mine in this matter.
Let me conclude by asking you this. We are politicians, and this is my last question to you. And again, I want the Ghanaian youth to listen to this and how you answer it. We go through low moments in our politics, days of adversity. You were a student leader, rose to become a cabinet minister. When your party was in opposition, you were privileged to have been selected as the primus of your inter-pares. And you became the primus of your side for some 6 years. Share with us, how did you find your transition?
Transition from where to where?
That is when you had to give space for a younger person, to take over from you.
I took it very easy. When I was told that there would be a reshuffle of the minority, I believe I got a call whilst I was entering Joy FM for a major interview from President Mahama, and he indicated to me that, Harun, I'll call you shortly to discuss a very important matter. If you remember, I think it was PM Express. And for me, if you look at President Akufo-Addo's State of the Nation's address, the last one, I should be the most encouraged. At least he admitted that he suffered an effective opposition in the hands of Haruna Idrisu and the likes of our MPs, even if he didn't say so tacitly. He said the nature and character of the parliament, the speakership, and his inability to get things through. I believe that in the last 7 years, I served my country well as minority leader, contributing to, you know how I got it under your slaves, getting Bagbin elected as speaker. And for many in the NDC, those of you who were at Marriott Hotel, the Honorable Yusuf and Soyene and Nogbe is here, I told them that a tortoise will ride an elephant at dawn. You remember that? Didn't the tortoise ride an elephant? We worked towards it and we achieved it. And you know, I had Honorable Muntaka. We had a certain gelling chemistry of a relationship. So as minority leader, getting Bagbin elected was significant for me to change the course of parliamentary accountability in our country. Research have demonstrated that the 8th Parliament will be remembered for its effectiveness in demanding accountability. There are many policy issues that I'll walk to you and Che Mensa, and I'm sure I can use the word today. There was a day they said, "One ton, he's been bought." So I walked to you and said, then Che, Namiya Kobi na Otomi. I told the Honorable Che Mensa that no, some decisions I'm guided by the good of our country and the future of our country. And that I take those decisions, taking responsibility. Indeed, I told the Honorable Suhine that when President Mahama begin constituting government, I'll be appreciated as former minority leader. Even the engineering you are doing here, people will appreciate a Haruna Idrisu. There were some decisions that you are guided collectively by the party, and then we take a decision. But as I said, I have never, ever regretted being changed as minority leader. I don't carry guilt in my heart. I've had my opportunity. I went out there to campaign and work for the NDC because I was convinced that in terms of the management of the economy, I wasn't satisfied with how the MPP had managed the country and its governance. So I don't carry guilt in my heart. I had a rare opportunity to serve, probably the first in my part of the world, if not the first in my country. And those who know me, there is a Quranic verse that I share with my mother, Aman Rasul. God does not give you a burden you cannot carry. So I'm sure at that time, God wanted a certain burden off my head. Which burden was that don't be minority leader, be MP for Tamale South. I keep telling my colleagues that my greatest asset is the preservation of Tamale South. And therefore, I thank the chiefs behind me and the people of Tamale South for giving me religious trust to keep the seat. So you can think minority leader was just an opportunity to serve. Those 7 years, my footprints are there and they remain there.
Chairman, that would end my questions. I shall conclude with some few remarks that would not be outside of this domain. Honorable nominee, thank you for inspiring so many people in the political class. Your story is telling. I would urge upon you to get your memoir done as quickly as possible. I know you have some more details you've shared with me. Please let it be known so that the young ones will know that it's not easy to walk this road. But I think that as education minister, if you get a nod, the key person to work with will be your finance minister. And I know the good relationship you have with Ato. If he's proving stubborn, call upon me. I will do him Ato for you, and then he will do the needful. But let me thank you one more time. The committee is here to take a decision on you, by the way. So, thank you very much. Chairman,
thank you.
Chair.
Thank you very much, Ranking Member. May I have the pleasure to announce the presence of a list of visitors here to give moral support to the Minister-Designate for Education. Mary Safua Yeboah, a spouse of the Minister-Designate. Baba Mamadou Bawa, Nantonna, Ibrahim Mohammed, Nyangpal Na. Please, I am going by the list that I have. So what is here is not Nyangpala, but it's Nyangpal Na. Four, we have Ibrahim Ziblim, Lamashi Lana. We have Andani Mohammed, Tugu Lana. We have Bukari Yakubu, Kasul Lana. We have Mahama Al-Hassan, Bamvum Ban Lana. We have Dr. Jacob Yakubu Mahama, Zingbalun Na. We have Fuseni Nyabawa, Tamale Dakpama, Dakpema. We have Idrisu Mohammed, Sakab Na. We have Sintaro Mahama, Sakoya Na. We have Dr. Idrisu Sulemana, Principal, Tamale College of Education, brother of the nominee. Alhassan Abdul Rahman, Chief Executive, Rahman Group. Dr. Atik, Chief Executive, TTH. Mohammed Abdul Salam, Regional Secretary, NDC, Northern Region, and Chief Executive of NLA. We have Dr. Idrisu Muntawakil, neurologist. We have Alhaji Suleimana Abdul Rauf, Constituency Chairman, NDC, Tamale South. We have Dauda Mohammed Jawara, Belegu Lana. We have Abdullah Rami Nyashi Na. Then we have list of officials from the Ministry of Education. Mrs. Mamle Andrews, Chief Director. Mavis Asari Donko, Director GA. Inusa Shazu, Director PBME. Benis Mpere Jechi, President, Ghana National Education Coalition. Dr. Aisha Akrofi, President, Ghana National Association of Private Schools. You are most welcome. Honourable members, let me state the fact that the Minister-Designate is my classmate. We were 2002 law school batch. So we are about 23 years standing at the bar. I intend not to ask him any question, but to congratulate him on his nomination as the Minister-Designate for Education. I strongly believe, if given the nod, he will discharge his responsibilities diligently and reliably. On that note, Honorable Minister-Nominate, you will surely hear from the committee. Thank you for attending upon the committee. You are discharged. Our next nominee is Honorable Eriko Puku, Minister-Designate for Food and Agriculture.
Of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business.